Hello friends, it's Sherry from Turquoise Dreaming. How you doing today? Welcome to my channel. I'm at lunch and crafting and thought I would turn on the camera again. You know, why not? So y'all can keep me accountable here. Keep me working, right? So what I brought today to work on was working on my Christmas mini journals that I'm doing, and hope they don't get too noisy outside. They've been making a little noise next door on the building today. Mostly not, but once in a while they start making loud kind of cutting noises. I think maybe they're cutting bricks or something today, but it's not constant. It's kind of a rainy day today here in North Carolina, or at least in this area. So what I wanted to do was just work on different elements, my little mini Christmas journals, and this material or fabric here is part of it that I'm using. And so what I want to do is cut out some of these bows right here. You see the red bows? So I'm just this is just some fabric that I received in Happy Mail from Laura, and so I'm just cutting out. I've already cut out one bow. There's the sawing I'm talking about, so hopefully that's not too loud, and hopefully it doesn't get any louder. But yeah, I cut out a bow this morning before work, and I made what did I make? Two or three covers this morning, at least two, and got them completely done with inside pockets and fabric on the inside, and you know, stitched around and everything. Was having a little bobbin issue, so that slowed me down, but then I got that straightened out, thank goodness. So I'm ready to go when I get home tonight after dinner and stuff. So but yeah, I cut out a bow, and what else did I cut out? I think a flower. What else is on here? Yeah, I think a bow and a flower or something here I cut out. Anyway, two different things, and they looked super cute on the cover, so I'll be showing you those in a later video when I'm at home, because I have those at home. But these little bows are so pretty when they're, you know, when you cut them out and use them on a journal. They're so pretty. I mean, they're fabric for one thing. And so, you know, if I can use some of my fabric, then if you saw my clean up organized video, there'll be one less piece of fabric in my drawer there. I'm glad to use some of it, you know, and not let it just sit there. So I was looking for fabric, Christmassy fabric, or just red or green fabric, and I remembered I wanted to use this, so I pulled this out and decided to just try these bows and little things on here. So they're working out really well and really pretty for me. So I'm going to cut out. I just want to get some of these. I just want to get it going, you know. I'm anxious. So like I said, two covers I got ready. So I wasn't sure if I was just going to do one, you know, one at a time, or do two or three at a time. So I don't know. I haven't really decided how many I'm going to do at one time yet, but you know, it just depends on how detailed you know I get. You know, if I get really detailed, I don't like to do too many, because it just gets, you know, doing the same thing. Like say you try to make even 10 journals or 13 or 15 journals or something like that. It just gets really doing the same thing over and over again. Like say, you know, you're putting in the pages, and then you're making a pocket on the same page kind of in each journal, so you're making 15 pockets. I don't know. I can't seem to handle that. I can seem to handle like 3 at a time, but you know, 15 is just too many for me. I just don't like it like that. I'd rather do 3, finish them, you know, do what I want to do with 3, and then do some more if I want to do more. You know, if I want to do 3 more, then do 3 more. But that's just me. That's what I've found, because I have tried making more than 3. Twice I did that. So, and you know, I did make it through the project, but it was just like by the end of making 15 of something or 13 of something or whatever number you're working with, it's just, for me, it's just like, will this ever end? So I don't know what brought that up, but I guess just what I'm working on. So yeah, that's what I get to listen to when they're sawing. So hopefully you guys can hear me and that sawing is not too loud. When I listen to this, I always listen to my videos before I post them. And if there's something in them that I don't like, then the whole thing just goes right down the tubes. So if that's sawing, see, they were quiet before I started. They've been quiet, and they were making noise this morning. And I was like, well, I hope by lunchtime they are done with that. So I couldn't go to lunch. My coworker went to lunch before me today, and they were pretty quiet for a while. And I thought, okay, they're done. They're good. I can video. So then I sat down here, turned on my camera, and there they go again. Oh, so okay, let me show you how pretty this is when I cut it out. Isn't that pretty? That's pretty. And here's the bow. I didn't think I showed it to you. I just cut it out. Okay, so that's what I'm doing with this fabric. I actually need pieces a little bit bigger than this, though. This is, I mean, I can use this, but it's a little small for what I have in mind. So, like, let's see. Are these all? That's the same. There was something bigger I cut out. What was it? It was bows and, oh, it must have been this right here. This is what it was. This is a bigger piece of, like, evergreen with holly and acorns on it. But that's what I cut out this morning. That and a bow right here. So I'm going to put that over to the side. Now I showed you that. We might cut some more out later. But I want to kind of get started on this too. Let's see. So I've got extra file folders here. And I've got let's see, what else do I have here? Where's all my stuff? Okay, so what I was doing this morning is working on this because I need these little for pockets inside the front and back covers. I'm using these right here. So what I'm doing is I gathered up some of these, which is all of these right here. See, I don't know. It's not that I'm using all these, but I did print them out, so I figured I'd go ahead and print out a bunch. Whether I use them now or not, I'll have them ready for now. And then if I don't use them now, I can put them away for later. So I'm just cutting them out. Oh, where's my glue? Don't tell me I didn't bring glue. It's gotta be here, it's gotta be here. It is here, it's here. Yes, my glue's right here. Got my glue. Rubber band. I've got some baker's twine. Got my hole punch. My scissors. So these I'm cutting pretty close to where I want them to be and end up. It's just how sometimes I leave a little room to put the file folder and then cut, but this morning that's how I was doing it and worked out very well, so I'm continuing that. But well, I hope you all are having a good day. It's Wednesday. See, I know I usually say what the day is, but then I never post it on the day that I do it, because I maybe have another video to post, or I need to watch it first and make sure everything's, copacetic. So usually that's why if you see a video of mine and you say, you said it's, you know, whatever day, and that was 3 days ago. Well, that's what happens. I just sometimes don't get a chance to watch it, my own video. And then I, you know, or I'm posting other videos, and I don't want to post too many videos in one day, you know, type of thing. So just kind of take my time and post it when I can. But yeah, I've had so much fun this morning in my clean craft room. I did make a little bit of a mess, but I'm trying to clean up as I go, instead of just like that. If I use something and I think I'm not going to need it for again, or even for a while, maybe put it away. And just like my threads, I was sewing this morning, and was I sewing last night? I don't think I sewed last night, but I was sewing this morning. So I immediately cleaned up all my sewing area, threw all my little threads out, you know, my thread cut-offs, threw those away right away, and just kind of made sure there was nothing laying around that it didn't need out. Like I used one of my punches, and instead of leaving it out, I put it away. Just little things like that help. I think it's going to help me keep my craft room clean. What else did I use? My punches. Oh, I was getting something ready last night, and I had my ephemera basket out, where I keep my ephemera to put in journals. I had, and in my goodie bags, I had that out, and I put that away right after I used it. And then I did a little crafty project last night to send to someone, and put everything, because I did a little crafty project, and then I finished it, and then I put everything away right away, you know, instead of leaving it out or putting it over to the side, you know. And then it was getting late, like I could have easily, and, you know, probably getting tired, and I could have very easily just been like, I'll put that away later, but I didn't, because now I'm a little paranoid of having my craft room messy again, which I know it will happen, because it's happened before. I always clean it up and then it gets messy again. That's how it is, right? But I don't know, I kind of want to see if I can keep it cleaner this time, because I really like it. It's so, you know, nice, and I just feel better when I go in there, and I'm not feeling claustrophobic from all the clutter. So I just want to cut out some of these little corners, get them ready so I can whip out some covers tonight. I'm doing several things to the covers, you know, to get them ready to put the pages in, because as soon as I get the covers done, then I can start on the pages, and it all starts coming together, right? But I'll do a little video when I get home, not necessarily tonight, but soon, the next couple of days or so, and show you the covers, because I really like them. I really love them. They're so cute. Go again. So I want to say hi to everybody. I know certain people, certain friends out there tell me they're watching my videos during their crafting, so that's always fun. So I feel like I want to talk to them, whoever you are, Laura and other YouTube friends and friends. So I hope y'all are crafting with me today, making something cool and fun. I I enjoyed watching a video yesterday immensely. I know everybody is probably familiar with treasure books, Natasha. So I watched her 10 crafty questions yesterday. Oh my goodness, if you guys haven't watched it, get a tissue first of all and then go watch it. You know, I know I liked her, and I liked her channel before. Actually, I watch her regularly. I try to watch all her videos, you know. I mean, I try to watch everybody's videos, but, you know, only so much time in a day, right? But I try to watch her videos. She has got great ideas, and I really have enjoyed her journals and her ideas. But I watched her 10 crafty questions yesterday. And now I like her even more. Oh my goodness, I'll cry. I'm going to cry just talking about it, so I better stop. But if you haven't watched it, wow. I would say get some tissues and go watch it, because I really enjoyed it. And I hope, you know, I hope you all do too, since I'm recommending it. But, yeah, I was kind of blown away by it. So it's really awesome. That's all I can say is it's awesome, and I gotta stop talking about it because I'm gonna start crying right now. Just thinking about it. So I'm gonna hush. Ah, it's crazy, right? But it's been really neat watching those videos and getting to know people, you know. I mean, talk about things you don't usually talk about, right? In your 10 crafty questions, some of your history and things like that. People that influenced you, so it's been really cool. Alright, I know you're probably getting tired of watching me cut. So I have a bunch more of these to cut, but let me put this to the side and do some gluing. Yeah, I try to always just, you know, be positive on my channel and happy, and, you know, I mean, everybody's having issues with whatever. You know, everybody has issues. Like Natasha said, has been through stuff. Everybody's been through stuff. But I just try to focus on the positive, and, you know, just have fun crafting and getting to know people on YouTube, making new friends, learning new things. I love learning new things. I love it. I mean, my whole life I've always just, you know, it's so fun, just no matter what, in any kind of field, learning something new, crafting, technology, you know, whatever. If I'm not one of those people that complain about new changes, I'm just like, something new on Facebook? Cool, what is it? Let me see, let me try it. You know what I mean? You know, how, you know, I don't want to put anybody down for being afraid of change, but I'm just one of those people who, you know, yeah, something new, cool, what is it? I want to learn it, you know? So, I mean, isn't it fun to learn new crafts and new ways to do things? Well, it's fun to learn other things too, right? New technology. I really like learning new technology too. New, like, programs, software programs. Like when you have a new job, it can be a little stressful, yes. But look at all the new things you get to learn. Like, wow. I mean, I remember the last new job I got. Last couple of new jobs I got, because I used to have 2 jobs. So, like, I worked at this office for a long time, but I left for 2 years. So that 2 years that I left here, I left and came back here. But the 2 years I had left, I went to another job where things were, you know, things were, a lot of things were the same, but a lot of things were different, you know, like computer programs and things. And it was so cool just to see how other offices do things and to learn their programs. It was so, I mean, that was probably the most thrilling part, and, you know, like how they organize things, learning how different offices have different programs and, you know, computer programs and organized differently. And it was just like, I thought it was the coolest thing ever for me to have that opportunity to work somewhere else for a couple of years to learn different things. And then during the last, let's see, I haven't had a second job. I've been focusing on Etsy and YouTube the last few years, or maybe it's only been 2 years. I don't know. It's kind of passed by kind of quickly since I left my second job. But I had a second job for 5.5 years. I had 2 second jobs, like one for 1.5 years. Well, no, it was actually 5.5 and 1.5. So it was 6-7 years. I had 2 jobs for 7 years. Yes, I did. I had 2 jobs for 7 years. The second jobs that I had were in retail. But the thing I like about that was learning new things, like, you know, like how the cash registers work. I mean, I worked in, when I was a teenager, I worked at McDonald's, okay? So I was a teenager a little while ago. And we won't say how long ago. A little while ago. So let me cut these out now. I was a teenager a little while ago, and let's just say that cash registers have changed quite a bit. When I kind of don't want to date myself, but when I worked at McDonald's when I was a teenager, I had to memorize everything that was on the menu. Sorry, my nose is starting to run here from my little teary episode thinking about Natasha's, I'm looking for a tissue. I don't have one. Thinking about Natasha's video. But, yeah, so I had to memorize the menu and the prices, you know? And so, because you had to, it wasn't just hamburger, it was hamburger 30 cents type of thing, or whatever it was back then. 35 cents or 50 cents or whatever it was. Actually, I think it might have been 35 cents. I don't know why that's sticking out in my brain. But anyway, so you know, you had to know the prices of things. And now I think they just hit something like hamburger, cheeseburger type of thing, you know, apple pie. So, yeah, anyway, so when I worked in retail, it was fun to learn the cash registers, you know, the technology part of it. I enjoyed that a lot. And, you know, how the cash register works, where you put in, you know, you get your total and put in the whatever they give you as far as if they're paying for cash. And now, like when I worked at McDonald's, we had to count the change backwards, you know, count their change out to them. And now you'll see people just, you don't have to really think. You just, I know because I worked in retail, so I'm not insulting anyone. I'm just saying I know how it is, because I was like, you just put in the total and the money they gave you, and then it gives you the amount to give back to them, unless there's some kind of an issue, which sometimes there is. So then you really do need to know how to count money back, so in case there's an issue, you can do that. But yeah, so I thought that was so cool how cash registers have advanced through the years. So yeah, that's one thing I liked about retail. And one reason I worked in retail as my second job is because it's very different from my main job. you know, and I kind of wanted it to be fun. Now, if you've ever worked in retail, you're going to be like, fun? Because if you've worked in retail for a while, even like I did, 7 years. I know some people work in retail. I know, I remember talking to a guy that came into the store where I worked, and he was like, he worked in retail. Dad didn't work in a convenience store. He worked in a convenience store. And it may have even been worse. It may be worse working in a convenience store than the store I worked in. But he was just like, you know, he came in, because I would go in that convenience store and get coffee and stuff, so we kind of got to be friends. But he came into my store, and he was like, yeah, I got a new job. And I said, what are you doing? And he said, I have a job where I don't see people. He didn't want to be around people anymore. He was sick of people. And you know, if you've ever worked in retail, it's not that you're sick of people, it's that one person can ruin your whole day. You're having a good day, you know, being friendly and happy and positive, and you know, be bopping around, whatever, doing what you got to do. And then one person can come in, one rude person can come in and just, or one mean person, or one crazy person, and just ruin your whole day, even though you try not to let it get to you. You know, sometimes it does get to you. So he was just like, I have a job in a factory or something where I don't see any people, and that's where I'm going to stay for a while, because I don't want to be around people. So yeah, which is unfortunate, but yes, I totally understand. But I worked, let's see, so do you want to hear about my 2 retail jobs, like where they were? I guess I could tell you, it doesn't really matter, I don't work there anymore. And I'm not going to say bad things about them, because there were good things, especially about the first one. I really loved working at the first one, which was, well, let's just say it was a clothing retailer. Can I say that? And it was a small store. I mean, there's nothing wrong with saying where it is there? I don't know. Maybe I won't say where it was, just in case YouTube has rules against that. But, because I'm not complaining about it, because I really did love it. It was a little clothing store, ladies' clothing store, right? It wasn't a boutique or anything. It was just a little, it's a commonly known in this area anyway, and I know they have them in Florida too, a little ladies store. And I'll give you a hint, they have 2 sides to the store, and if you've ever been there, you're gonna know what it is probably. If you shop there, you're gonna be like, aha, I know where she worked. Anyway, they have 2 sides to the store, the ladies or the regular like sizes, and they have the other side, half of it is ladies and half of it is plus sizes. So that should give it away right there, because there's not too many stores that are divided up like that. But anyway, I really loved working there. I loved the people I worked with. I loved working, you know, loved working with the clothes and just seeing the clothes and the jewelry come in, and you know, seeing the new things and helping put it out and helping clean and organize and everything. The only reason I left there was because their rules prevented me from getting more hours. I wanted more hours, even though it was my second job. Their rules were they had to hire so many people, like have so many people available to work and that worked there, but they only had so many hours to divide among the people like me that were, what were we called? We were called like sales associates or something like that. Basically the people that run around and help you and, you know, check you out at the register. Sales associates. So, but they had, you know, had to have so many of us sales associates, and they only had so many hours to divide between us. So that means everybody was in the same boat as me. Everybody kind of didn't like, everybody wanted more hours. Just let me put it like that. So it came down to finally, you know, me getting another job that would give me more hours, that was going to give me more hours. So that's the only reason I left there, but I did not want to leave. I kind of almost went back, and they kind of almost took me, you know, wanted me back, or they did want me back. And I kind of wanted to go back, but the manager at my new job that I went to was like, actually I was working both of the two jobs, my second jobs. I was working at both of them at the same time there at the end, because I had given my 2 weeks notice, and I already started the new job. And I was like, told my manager at my new job, I was like, they want me to continue working there, and she's like, no, I need you here. You know, you have to quit your other job, your other second job, right? And I was like, you know, of course, you know, I'm kind of a workaholic. I hate to admit that. I'm kind of a workaholic, so I liked having 3 jobs. I mean, I started my Etsy job when I still had I started my Etsy store when I still had 2 jobs, and I did my Etsy store. So that was like 3 jobs too. So anyway, so I had to go ahead and leave that second job that I loved. And so I got all these cut out, pretty, and I got the 2 flowers cut out. Let's do a few so you guys don't get bored. This is just a chit-chat, craft with me type of thing. But yeah, so I did quit this second job and focused on the second job. And it worked out really well. I worked there for 5.5 years. Got all the hours I ever could want there. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I just liked working there. I liked everything about what I did there, and I got actually promoted to an assistant manager on my second job, even though I was considered, like at that point I was considered, and I actually wanted to do that because I needed insurance at that time. And my first job wasn't offering insurance at that time, and so I needed health insurance, you know. So by going full time at my second job, which is in retail, here anyway, 32 hours or more. So by going full time on my second job, I was able to get health insurance, and you know, that was worth it to me. I mean, even if I was just working for health insurance, I mean, of course I got paid, but I'm saying, you know, I got paid plus I got health insurance. So that was perfect. That was great for me because I needed health insurance. That's, you know, what else do you do when you need health insurance? You do what you got to do, right? So, yeah, so that job, I really liked that new second job. I really liked it. I liked being an assistant manager, but after a while, I left because, why did I leave? Basically, I had been there, like I said, I had been at this new second job. I worked there for 5.5 years, and it just got to be where I ended up getting health insurance here at this job where I work now, you know, where I've worked forever except for those 2 years. They started offering health insurance, and it's not that I didn't want to still work there. It's just that I felt like they weren't. It gets to a point, if you've ever worked in retail, you know, it gets to a point where they're not appreciating you in the with what they're paying you in retail. They just don't want to. They don't want to pay you for what you're doing when you're an assistant manager at a little store. This was a small retail store, okay? It wasn't a ladies' clothing store anymore. It was a small retail store. And it just got to a point where they just don't pay in those stores. Like, they still don't. They, like, you know how Walmart has kind of, I know Walmart pays pretty good, and now I hear, I mean, I don't know, I've never worked there, but I hear that they have a policy where they pay their employees better, and that's what I've heard. And then what else? Goodwill actually pays their employees decent, even though it's a retail and it's a, you know, it's Goodwill. They actually pay decent for a retail pay, you know, more than at the store where I was working, you know. So it got to a point where I was just like, you know, I work, you know, my you-know-what off here and do, you know, I'm not the type of person that stands around and doesn't do my job. I do my job and do it my best I can. I felt like I was contributing more than my fair share, and they did not reciprocate that with my paycheck being higher. So I was like, this is not making sense anymore for me to work here and put all my everything into this store, and you all are not going to pay me as you know what I deserve. So I left and did not look back. So I'm not saying it was a bad experience, but I wouldn't, as long as I don't have to do that, I wouldn't do it again. I would just, if I ever wanted a second job again, I would not be an assistant manager, because they want you to do as an assistant manager, they want you to do everything, and they don't want to pay you at that type of store anyway. I don't know about Walmart and other stores, but at that store, no. They did not appreciate me. And they, you know, it's like you sit there and you're working for, you know, whatever you're working for in a store like that, and you're doing your job and you're doing a good job, and then you think about what you're getting paid and how, you know, the store needs you. The store needs you. They need good employees. But when they get one, because believe me, as an assistant manager, I saw a lot of people coming and going that were not good employees. And so I know it's hard to get a good employee, and when they have one, they don't do anything to keep them and pay them. So like, I don't understand. I would think about that, and I would think about, you know, I know the CEO is sitting up there in his office making whatever he's making, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they can't pay me another, you know, $1 or $2 per hour. You know, it didn't make sense to me anymore. So I couldn't, it just wasn't smart for me to keep working there, so I left. But I do like the fact that I have that experience, and I do like working in retail. I just would rather do this, work on my Etsy store and make things, and, you know, do that as my second job. So that's, you know, my second job. I always wanted to, like I think I said, I wanted to be a fun job. I didn't want it to be like, you know, go and work type of job. I wanted it to be a fun job. So that's kind of what I treat my Etsy as, a fun job, you know, even though, you know, I probably would be crafting even if I didn't have an Etsy shop, but it makes it even better because it's like my second fun job now. So I don't know why I went into all that. I have no idea. But I guess it's probably about time for me to get back to work. And I'm just cutting and cutting today. So I hope this video isn't too boring, but you can put me on while you're crafting. You don't have to watch because I'm not doing anything but cutting paper and gluing. So let me just keep you company, and you can listen to my story about retail work and how I'm doing my Etsy shop now, because I love it. And last night I was doing things for my Etsy shop, and I was like, you know, I was listing things and I was doing other things, and I'm like, you know, and I remembered in my head, like, yeah, you know, I'm not going to say I don't like doing these things, because this is my fun second job, and I had that in my head, and I was like, you know, I really love this. I love every part of it. I love listing things. I love selling things. I love packing up the orders and, you know, making them all pretty and tying bows and putting pretty tissue paper in there and getting the goodie bags ready and just making it, writing little notes, and I just love every single piece of it. So I hope I can just like do this, and someday it will be my main job, and I'll just be having fun all the time. Not that I don't like my main job here. I do like that job, this job. That's why I've done it for so many years. But you know, eventually my boss is going to retire, and my boss is past retirement age, so that's my fear, that he's going to retire, and you know, I'm trying to reach certain financial goals before he retires, so that, you know, I can have things paid off before he retires, so that if I have to get another job, you know, maybe if my Etsy shop was big enough and doing enough business, I won't have to get another job. I could do my Etsy shop, you know. Wouldn't that be awesome? So that's kind of my goal, is to try to get my house paid off and stuff before he retires. Like I said, he's past retirement age, so that's kind of my fear in the back of my head. Like, I gotta get my house paid off and things like that before my boss retires, because I'm not, you know, he's quite a bit older than me, so I'm not ready to retire, you know. So, but he's going strong, so hopefully he won't retire for quite a few more years, so I can get my house paid off. Anyway, enough blabbing today, and I hope you all have a great Wednesday. And tomorrow I have a dentist appointment, so I won't be able to craft tomorrow. Sucks. I want to craft so bad. I want to go to the dentist office, but I have to take care of my teeth, so I have to go. So I won't see you all tomorrow, but I will see you all maybe on Friday, if I can keep myself in the office, which I really am into this kit here, so, and doing my mini Christmas journal, so that's what's motivating me not to go shopping right now or run errands or whatever on my lunch break. I'm cleaning up already. Look at this. Wow. Okay, so I'll let you go, and I'll see you all next time. I hope you have a great night, and happy crafting. See you tomorrow or Friday.